Welcome to episode 2 of Pretty and Dangerous. I'm Mazzy Mayhem, and this is my little corner of the internet for misfit girls, gays, and theys, and anyone in between. This is a place for us to gossip about fictional characters, rant about society, and discuss my love hate relationship with romance. Or maybe I just love to hate in general. I didn't exactly have a normal childhood growing up, and I didn't get to experience like girlhood, teenager, pop culture things. And I want to change that. So if you can relate, join along the journey. Maybe some of you can relate, or you just want to relive your childhoods. Either way, this is our space to do whatever we want. So put on a face mask, get cozy, and let's dive into the drama. So, I don't know about any of you, but I currently have a cold, and the weather in the UK is very miserable. Um, Hence why I'm in my pajamas because I can't be asked to put on clothes. And I don't think anybody else in this country can. If you're indoors, it's warm and cozy time because 1 minute I'm freezing cold, the next minute I'm boiling hot, and it's just not very pleasant to be honest. I'm kind of dying for the summer, but I go through this process every single year. And when someone has a cold in the UK, eventually the whole country has it. So I think that if you're in the UK, you probably know somebody who has a cold, or you have one too. But yeah, so if you notice me sniffling constantly, it's because I can feel a dribble of snot about to run down my nose, and I have to keep sniffing it back up just in case it comes out on screen. Not fun. Sorry about that. I don't know if that's TMI or not, but that's what's going in my life right now. How are you guys? Mm-hmm. Cool. Mhm. Oh, like me, you have a cold and you're hating the weather. Uh-huh. I get that, right? Shall we? That didn't happen, by the way. We're gonna ignore that. Dive into the topic. I think so. So, you guessed it. We're talking about the summer, the summer I turned. I can't speak today. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can't formulate words today, and we're gonna have to deal with that. I need to stop speaking an American accent because it's like it just happens like constantly. And it's not even like a good American accent, it's because I feel nervous. Anyway, so that turns into something. We're gonna be talking about the Summer I Turned Pretty season 2. Um, which I think this is my favorite season, to be honest, out of everything. I think. And before anybody gets on me about it being winter and I'm still talking about the summer temporary, I've had these notes written for so long. Like, you don't understand how long I've had these. Well, since I finished watching the summer temporary, I've had them written. But I've been experiencing a lot of technical difficulties when filming these videos, so I've had to like delay stuff and push stuff back and figure stuff out. Um and it just hasn't been the easiest. Like, I genuinely think if you could see my filming setup right now, you'd laugh. Because I'm filming on my phone, and my phone doesn't have a lot of storage space, so it stops filming by itself after like 15 minutes. So, in order for me, and I'm filming on the back camera of my phone, so I can't see the screen. So, in order for me to know when the camera cuts out, I've got a mirror reflecting the phone back to me so I can see when it turns off, right? And then what happens is I get up, save that footage to an external hard drive, and then delete it off my phone and start filming again. Okay? That's what we're working with at the moment, okay? This is called dedication. I don't know if there's an easier way to do this, but this is what I'm working with as of right now. And I guess we'll see how it goes. You know, I'm working on it. Okay, let's get into season two. For me, season two was a little bit more confusing than season one, just because at the start there was time jumps and I didn't really get what was going on at the beginning. Like, um, at what point we were in the storyline, because from where you start in season two, Benny and Conrad have already broken up, which was confusing to me because then we were getting flashbacks of them being together. Whereas I thought in season two we would just see Benny and Conrad being together. Like, you know how it is in the books. I think I did read the books ages and ages ago. I think that's how it is in the books. Anyway, so it was a little bit confusing, but not really that confusing. And like once you understand what's going on, it's fine. Anyway, so Benny and Conrad did get into a relationship, and they kind of do it without Jeremiah really knowing what's going. Like, of course, Jeremiah knows, but he doesn't really, like, nobody actually goes and talks to him. Betty doesn't talk to him. Conrad doesn't really talk to him. Like, Betty barely says anything to him. Like, the second she hears Conrad likes her, it's like she forgets Jeremiah exists. And then he obviously feels away because he really likes Belly, and now his brothers swooped in and basically stole her from him. That kind of makes it sound like Belly doesn't have a choice, but she doesn't have a choice. Okay? We're not misogynists here. Belly wants to be with Conrad as of right now. Okay? Um, I think eventually Conrad does have a conversation with Jeremiah. It's like, yeah, basically me and Belly are like official. Just thought I'd let you know. And Jeremiah's like, yeah, thanks for telling me. I could guess. I won't get in your way though, you know? And then doesn't really reach out to Belly or keep in contact or like make an effort, because why should he? You know? Just saying. But yeah. And I think I can't, yeah. Jeremiah just pretty much ends up ignoring Belly for ages, and they just don't really speak for that long. Like, and I guess Belly's like kind of wondering what's happened, but when she's with Conrad, it's like she forgets Jeremiah exists, and obviously that's hurtful. Um, by the way, while all this is happening, Susanna is slowly dying from cancer, which is really sad. Sorry. But yeah, and basically the boys are watching Susanna slowly, their mom slowly die. Which is kind of it's not kind of, it is upsetting, and it's taken a toll on obviously both the boys, but it's also taken a toll on Conrad. And instead of being a mature person about it, he just shuts Belly out, kind of shuts down emotionally, and does his Conrad thing, which is like emotional avoidance, and it's so irritating to be around. I don't know if anybody listening or watching, or if anybody even is, has been with an avoidant person before, but genuinely it's so irritating. And I know anxious people are also irritating, but it's like both people are not healed people. We're not going to get into this conversation. Both anxiously attached and avoidantly attached need to deal and work on their problems. But so much could be solved if the avoidant person just spoke, you know, whatever. But yeah, so he's started to distance himself from Belly basically. Um, because Conrad thinks he's the center of the world and that he's the only one feeling things and going through things, and it's kind of annoying. Like, seriously. Anyway, obviously, Belly can tell that something's going on. Like, he starts doing his, like, yeah, I remember. I remember prom. Don't worry, I'll have everything. Yeah, yeah, like everything's gonna be fine. I have everything. Don't worry about it. And then proceeds to literally drop the ball. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just it gives ick. Like, if you're gonna say that so confidently that you're gonna do everything perfectly, everything's under control, that you've got everything handled, then you best have it. You best have it handled. Otherwise, what was the point in all that talk? Nothing. There was no point. You're a loser and a liar, and you can talk big, but you can't back it up. There's nothing more icky in a man than that. I'm sorry. Huh. Anyways, yeah. From my point of view, like that conversation about like getting things ready for prom and stuff, like Belly can like fully tell something's wrong from there, obviously. Um, and Conrad just starts doing stupid shit like forgetting the corsage and basically fucking up prom, the whole prom really. And like even in the pictures, he's like messing about when the pictures are being taken and just like get it together, bro. Like I'm so dead serious. If you don't put it together, like, and Benny through that whole thing is like so patient because when you're that age, prom is like getting married. At least I think it is. I'm not American and I didn't go to prom, so. I just couldn't find a dress that I wanted to wear, and if I couldn't find a dress that I want to wear, I'm not going. So that was the end of that. Um, but if I had a man be the reason that my prom didn't work out, I'd fly off the handle. Like, you'd need to call that man some help. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, but yeah, it's literally embarrassing watching him like fumble the whole thing. And like it's funny because Jeremiah knows. Like Jeremiah sees him fumbling the prom corsage and he's like he had one chance. Like if that was me, I would have never fucked up prom for Billy, like ever. And when you hear that, you're like, well, 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 well. Anyway, but yeah, and then they go with some friends, so Billy and Conrad and Steven, and I don't know if he's still with Taylor at the time. I honestly can't remember, but I think so. Like they all get up and dance, and Conrad's kind of just staring off into space, and Steven has to like shove him and like elbow him and be like, "Hey, are you gonna ask my sister to dance or not?" Like the fuck? And only then does Conrad ask Billy to dance. Like it's so awkward. Like honestly, it's been like, what are you doing? Like, what are you even doing here? Like, why are you here? If you don't want to be here, beat it. You know, get out. But yeah, they end up breaking up that night. In case you couldn't tell, because Conrad's doing his Conrad emotional non-availability thing. Belly pressures him to talk. Obviously, he doesn't talk. Whole thing's a bit embarrassing if you ask me. Like for me, from that moment, I was just like, that. To me, it doesn't feel like there was ever any chemistry between Conrad and Belly. Like, I just don't see it. Like, genuinely, I don't see it. I don't like. There's no anything between Belly and Conrad. Like, they don't even have like jokes and like joke around between. between each other apart from Conrad, and when he does, it's like kind of awkward because Belly doesn't receive it well. Like the Junior Mint joke. Oh, I could get you another Junior Mint. She didn't even want Junior Mint in the first place. That's the one he wanted. There's just, to me, there's just not really any chemistry or like vibes between them. There are way more with Jeremiah and Belly, in my opinion. Sorry, not sorry at all. But yeah, um, so yeah, at the end of prom, Conrad and Belly end up breaking up. You learn all this through the flashbacks, by the way. Like in the current moment at the beginning of season two, Belly and Conrad aren't together anymore, and they haven't been together for a while. Okay. Um, and obviously in the flashbacks, Susanna's still alive. In the current present, she's not. Just making that clear. Um, but yeah, so they end up breaking up only because Conrad really just didn't have the balls to break up with her. Like it's almost like when you get a shitty dude who doesn't, like, it's not almost, it's exactly a shitty dude who just doesn't have the balls to break up with you, doesn't have the balls to be like, look, this is not working for me. I think we should break up. So instead, he makes your life miserable. He makes you question yourself, doubt your self worth, make you think there's something wrong with you, that there's something you're not doing right. And until you reach a breaking point and you say, we're done, like he pushes you there instead of just being friggin' honest and saying, I don't want to be in a relationship anymore. It's too much. I've got too much going on. Which is what Conrad should have done if he was a mature person, but he didn't. Like, this is biggest strike numero uno for Conrad, even though, actually, if we go through all the strikes, like, if we think of them, um, from when him and Belly get together, he gets together and doesn't, he gets together with the girl his brother kissed and doesn't really talk to him about it. Um, he messes up Belly's corsage, her prom corsage, and even when he promises that he'll be perfect in prom, he doesn't ask Belly to dance with him at prom until somebody else kind of tells him to. And then just makes Belly's life in general miserable until she breaks up with him. That's four massive um bell end flags right there, to be honest. Right? And it's just like, yeah, so not long after that, Susanna dies. Um, and when Susanna dies at the funeral, like, I think Conrad and Belly haven't been broken up for long, so Belly still kind of like hates him, doesn't really understand what's going on. Like, she hasn't fully processed it. And then she goes to take a plate of food upstairs for Conrad at the funeral wake, and when she gets upstairs, Conrad is with another girl, and Belly flies off the handle. Like, girl, this is the wrong place, wrong time. Like, that man is not important enough for you to be getting this mad at him over him being with another girl at his mom's funeral. And forget that it's even his mom. Like, Susanna meant a lot to Betty too. Like, there are more important things going on. Like, I promise you, way more important things going on. It's just kind of annoying that she does that at the funeral, but whatever. And I think this kind of upsets Laurel, Billy's mom. Well, I don't think this does upset Laurel because she's just like, what the hell? Get it together, girl. If you don't pack it in now, yeah. Anyway, and that kind of puts a damp on. Like, Belly has a problem with making everything about herself. Like, the funeral is so much more to so many more people than her relationship with Conrad. And on top of that, he's a loser who doesn't deserve any of it. But yeah, irritating, 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 irritated. Yeah, that's my thoughts and feelings on that. Yeah. They're Benny, Steven, and Taylor, or maybe the whole school. I can't actually remember. They're at like some kind of party. Taylor has an annoying boyfriend, in my opinion. Like he's just a douche. I mean, is he? I don't know. I just don't like him. He's like a wannabe punk rock singer in a punk boy band or something, and he like it's one of those relationships where both people like pretend to be so obsessed with each other, and they're just not that obsessed with each other. They're just not that great together, but they like put it on because they don't want to acknowledge that. That's what I gave to me. Anyway, something happens at the party, and Belly and Steven end up having a fight about Conrad and Jeremiah, and like Belly storms off. Um, I think Steven needed her to be his ride home because he's been drinking, I think, from what I can remember, but Belly's gone home, so that's out the window. Um, When Belly gets home, she gets a phone call from Jeremiah, which I said before, Jeremiah hadn't been speaking to Belly, so this is kind of like strange and out of the blue. To anybody wondering, I'm drinking mint tea for my throat. Um, yeah. Yeah. So it's like an unexpected call from Jeremiah asking if she's heard from Conrad. And Belly's like, no, I haven't spoken to him since we broke up. Or since the funeral, actually, I think. Um, and Jeremiah's like, well, he's not answering any of my calls, and I don't know where he is. So then Betty gets worried and everything. Typical Fisher brother drama queen stuff, in my opinion. And Conrad like disappearing without anybody, without telling anybody. Like, you don't get more drama queen than Conrad Fisher. I'm sorry, but you don't. Like, I don't know. Like, he just does things so dramatically because he thinks he's the only one in the world who has feelings. And he thinks nobody's gonna understand me. Nobody is gonna understand what I'm going through. And it's that whole mentality. I'm just like, bro, get over yourself. Oh my god. Anyway, to me, Conrad running off is like, and not telling anybody is like typical Conrad shit. Like, it sounds like something he'd do. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all. If I was Billy and it's like, oh, Conrad's run off and he's not told him, I'm like, of course he has. Duh. Anyway, I do have to say that I really do find Conrad annoying because pretending nothing is bothering you and you end up making it a massive problem for everybody else because you just refuse to talk about it and you selfishly do things without actually thinking how it will affect anyone around you is just so irritating and selfish, and I just find people who do things like that incredibly annoying. Like, you end up making such a massive fuss instead of just communicating properly. Like, if you really don't want to be a burden to anybody, don't make it 10 times more of a problem. Like, it's such a roundabout way of doing things. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah, because it's like it's just so inconsiderate and then acting really shocked when anybody who cares about you cares. It's like, well, get a grip. Like, actually, for the love of God, get a grip. Anyway, it just, yeah, it does show a lack of emotional maturity, which we already know about Conrad, but like when Conrad is going through something, he like he seems unable to understand how his actions affect people around him. Like, it's just he's just really selfish in my opinion. And yeah, I'm sure you get the point by now. I just can't stand Conrad's character because the whole sad boy moping around thing just doesn't do anything for me. I find you pathetic and I want to scream at you, get the hell up. Like, it just pisses me off, to be honest. But yeah, okay, moving on. If you've watched it, I don't know how y'all felt about the road trip scene where Jeremiah comes to get Billy so they can go together to find Conrad. And obviously the first place that they're gonna go is Conrad's university dorm. And I'm sorry by the way, sometimes I speak too fast and I don't pronounce the words properly, so then I repeat what I'm saying. But anyways, I found that scene so funny, especially when Jeremiah's trying to change the tire. Anyways, um, we'll get to that in a sec. This is the first time that Jeremiah and Belly have actually spoken since season one, like since before, um, Conrad and Belly. Well, Conrad told Belly that he liked her, right? And it's kind of awkward because Jeremiah's trying to keep Belly at a distance because even though she knows he secretly wants her there, well, it's kind of awkward because Jeremiah's keeping Belly at a distance. Um, but Belly kind of knows that Jeremiah secretly wants her there because Conrad going missing is like really upsetting to him. Um, because he's worried about him. So even though Jeremiah's been a bit standoffish, Belly knows him well enough to know that he actually wants her there. He's just too proud to say it. These men, bro. Like, oh. Anyway. Now we can talk about the car breaking down because the road trip is kind of silent and awkward, and then the tire pops or something, and they pull over, and Betty's like, "Yeah, I can change a tire. I learned how to change a tire when da 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 da." And then instead of changing the tire herself, she tries to instruct Jeremiah on how to change the tire, which I'm like, if you can change the tire yourself and you know how to, and Jeremiah doesn't know how to change the tire, why wouldn't you just change it yourself? Like, why would you get Jeremiah to change it in the first place? But then again, I'm like, if there's a man there, why not let him do it? I would definitely, even if I knew how, yeah, yeah. Actually, I do understand that because even if I knew how to change the tire, if there's a man there, you're changing the tire, bro. Sorry. I will stand here and I will tell you how to do it, but I'm doing it. Even though if I was on my own, I'd change the tire. I don't know how to change the tire, by the way, because I can't drive. Anyway, but yeah. So Belly sat there, like stood there, giving instructions to Jeremiah, and Jeremiah has no idea what he's doing. It's truly like the blind leading the blind. He gets so frustrated. He's just like, why would you tell me that you knew how to change a tire and then give me bad instructions? Like, if you know how to change it, just change it. Or I could have called like the people who fix tires. I don't know what they're called. Road people? Not roadmen. But highway people? I don't know. I I know, but I can't think of it. Like breakdown services. I don't know. Yeah, like, cause to be honest, even when I was watching it, I was like, girl, the instructions you're given, they're not even they're really bad. Like nobody can follow those instructions. They're not helpful at all. Jeremiah gets way overwhelmed because he's trying to change this tie and has no real clue what he's doing. But yeah, um, and it's like, bro, chill out. Like, gosh, just take a chill pill, bro. There's no need for this. There is absolutely no need for this. Okay. Um. Yeah. The whole thing kind of just it was funny, but it was kind of annoying because what's going on. And maybe I was just triggered while watching it because the whole thing was so awkward, and all because Jeremiah actually likes Benny, but she ditched him to fuck his brother, which is wild, by the way. Like, huh? It's crazy. That part is crazy. Like, it just doesn't compute to me. Anyway, long story short, Connie is in cousins. Like, they don't find him at his dormitory. Anyway, long story short, they don't find Conrad at his university dormitory. Instead, he's in cousins because they're going to lose the beach house. And I get why that's actually like really bad because it's like the last thing left of Susanna and everything, and obviously they don't want to lose the one place that connected them all together. Um, but why the hell is Conrad trying to deal with everything alone? Like, why didn't he tell anybody? Why is he like as if like stop thinking so highly of yourself? What made you think, Conrad, that you could save the beach house by yourself? Doing what? With what money? Like how? You're not that great, okay? Like it's so annoying. Like just this presumption that you're capable of doing everything by yourself. Get over yourself. Oh my god. Just irritating. But yeah, obviously him trying to handle it by himself is typical Conrad stuff. Like we should know about that by now. Um, but yeah, I just find it again really annoying when people do things like that, especially men, because it's like they act like they start sulking about and complaining that the whole weight of the world is on their shoulder, and it's like, bro, you're not even responsible for yourself yet. What do you mean the weight of the world's on your shoulders? Like, you don't even brush your teeth. What are you complaining about? Like, and I'm not saying like I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, like people like that irritate me because they sulk about because the weight of the world is on their shoulders, and instead of asking anybody for help, they just complain that nobody's helping them, and it's just so irritating. Like I don't know if anyone has like experienced. I mean, obviously someone has. It's just annoying. Anyway, now we're gonna talk about Taylor and Steven. Oh my god, that reminds me. In the first episode that I did, I mentioned my two favorite characters in the whole show, and then I only talked about Laurel. So Laurel is one of my favorite characters. My next favorite character is Taylor, because Taylor is f- she's for the girls. She's for Belly, like ride or die friendship. Like is there supporting Belly no matter what. Like whatever Belly does, Taylor is there to help her and support her through it and be her like support system. And she's just such a good friend. Like, I'm team Taylor all the way. I'm actually team Belly and Taylor 100% of the way. I just wish that Belly kind of reciprocated that friendship back to Taylor, because to be honest, Belly is kind of a shit friend to her. Like, she never really supports Taylor when Taylor's going through something. She never really wants to hang out with Taylor or spend time with Taylor, or like make time for just the two of them that much. Um Whenever Taylor disagrees with her, she almost like has a fight with her. And then there are other things as well that Belly does to Taylor that annoys me. Specifically in season 3, this but I wish Belly was a better friend to Taylor, or as good of a friend that as Taylor is to Belly, to be honest, because Taylor, she's a ride or die. Like I said, like, there's a main bitch. Like, sorry, but Belly's just not that. Belly is, to me, a little bit selfish, to be honest. Now, I don't hate her, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of these Belly is the enemy people, because the man is always the enemy. Um However, um she is a bit selfish sometimes. Like Conrad, she doesn't always think about how her actions will affect other people. And in all fairness, you don't have to all the time think about how every single action you take is going to affect everybody around you, but Belly is selfish. And I get it, she's young, she needs to go through life to learn these lessons, which is what these shows are about, which is why they're so beautiful in my opinion. But you can still say it when you see it, right? Anyway, so let's talk about Taylor and Steven. So, like I said earlier, Taylor has this really annoying and irritating twig of a boyfriend. Um, and he just thinks he's this cool guy, but he's really just annoying as hell. And his music is incredibly average, sorry to say. He's not all that as much as he thinks he is. He's like the type of guy to walk past a mirror and stare at himself for 5 minutes. He's like, he should kiss himself, honestly, and I think he would if he could. Like, yeah, that's the kind of energy he gives off to me. Why the hell Taylor is with him, I don't know. Why a bad bee like Taylor is with a guy like that truly escapes me. But then I think that about most women who are in relationships with men, media wise or not. Um, I'm gonna sneeze soon. I can feel it coming. Obviously, I'm a fan of Taylor and Steven being together, right? I wasn't so much in season 1 because I didn't like Taylor or Steven in season 1, but Taylor is my favorite character in season 2 and the rest of the show, to be honest. Taylor and Steven for the win in season 2, to be honest, especially if you compare them to Belly and Conrad. Like, hmm anyway, so obviously everybody's gonna try and save the beach house. But so yeah, Belly and Jeremiah find Conrad in Susanna's beach house in Cousins. Um there's some back and forth in between them about what's happening with the beach house, why Conrad didn't try and speak to anybody about it because he's a loser. Yeah. Turns out Susanna's sister now owns the house and she wants to sell it. Like, she doesn't want the house anymore. She didn't really have any memories in the house. Although she did own part of it, Susanna kind of used the house more than she did, whatever. And she's trying to sell it, which obviously everybody's not really that happy about because it's like the last place they have to remember Susanna. Um, oh yeah, I had to tie my hair up because it was getting so hot. But now I'm kind of cold again. In case you were wondering. Nobody's wondering. Anyway. Yeah. So Susanna's sister's trying to sell the house, which obviously everybody's gonna try and save the house, but um Belly had a like fight with her mom before she came, and she had a fight with Steven. So Belly's kind of like fighting with everybody, and then just leaves it all and goes to cousins to find Conrad. Yeah. So Steven basically Taylor's covering for Belly, saying that she's with her, even though she's not. Steven eventually finds out. They all drive up to Cousins, and now everybody's in Cousins. Woo! Okay. And to be honest, it's kind of nice that the whole gang is together and they can save the beach house together. Um, but yeah. So yada yada yada, some stuff happens, skip forward, fast forward a little bit, blah 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 blah. Um, the Fisher brothers have a cousin. Yeah. Sky? Is the cousin's name Sky? Hang on. Let me Google that. I can't remember. Yeah. The cousin's name is Sky. I was right. Woo. I was right. Okay, anyway. Yeah. Turns out the Fisher brothers have a cousin. What is going on in the House of Commons? Yeah, the Fisher brothers have a cousin called Sky. Susanna's sister is having like an open house so people can come see the house. It's all coming back to me now. Yeah, so people can come see the house, and the kids are trying to mess it up so she can't get anybody to buy the house. Yeah, and I think Stephen messes with the electricals, so the lights turn off. Anyway, she ends up kicking them out of the house and basically saying, "Will you kids get out of here because there's no electrics in the house anymore? So you may as well leave." Um, all the kids go down to the beach, including cousin Sky, who is a little bit antisocial. Blah blah blah. Um, and hey, Cameron. Mm, yeah, he's at the beach and he ends up, I don't know if he ends up joining them. I think he does actually. Everybody has a nice time, to be honest. It's like for 5 minutes, people are just having fun on the beach. Everybody's being teenagers for 5 friggin' minutes, and it's like we can all be friends again. No one's fucking anybody's brother. Let's just have some fun. And life is actually great for 5 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, everybody's trying to heal and have some fun in the place that Susanna loved the most. And to be honest, it was cute. Like I said, it only lasts for like 5 minutes. Anyway, while the kids are out, Susanna's sister tries to sell the house, and I think she gets the deal through. And the kids decide to have a party to say goodbye to the house because they think that they're not going to be able to save it. This is their last chance to make memories at the house in the one place where all of them could be together, which is kind of really sad to be honest. But I think they mentioned in the show that having a party is like at the house would be Susanna would be proud of them, like something Susanna would have done because she loved to throw parties. Um yeah. To be fair, they do manage to put together what looks like to me a sick party. Like when I picture house parties, that's what I picture. The outfits was super cute. The like decorations were cute. Everything was like 80s themed. Belly's outfit was so cute and she had these roller skates on and she was like passing drinks out on these roller skates. Cute. And Taylor looked hot as fuck. So there's that. But yeah, it's kind of like that's what I imagine a house party to look like. I've never been to a house party before. It's probably dingy as hell. um like it probably stinks in reality. There's probably alcohol spilled all over the carpet. It like everything is a bit damp, it's a bit stinky and sweaty, like, and a bit grimy and dirty. There's probably ash on the floor, ash in cups. Every surface is probably sticky as hell. To be honest, a house party, like the idea of it is fun, but the reality to me is probably not worth it at all. And maybe that's because I've never been to a house party. Let me know in the comments. If you've been to a house party, are they worth it or are they just nasty? Because I can just like, there's like one toilet, nobody's cleaning up, like there's sick every. Yeah, I don't think it's for me. This sounds kind of crazy. But hey, it could just be me, you know? Anyway, yeah. And to be honest, it seems like everyone in Cousins is invited to this party. Like, everybody. Because lots of people show up. And I didn't know that everybody knew this many people. It just kind of seemed like it was Belly the Fisher Brothers in Cousins. But apparently they know the whole of Cousins. Yeah. Anyway, during the party, there is like tension between Billy and Jeremiah, and it's cute. Like there's actual like chemistry between them, um, which is what the show has been missing this whole time, like with Conrad, especially. Um, but to be honest, nobody's even really gotten into the romance of it all yet, to be fair, even in the show. Like, Jeremiah kissed her once, and then it shows you in relationship with Conrad through flashbacks. Like, but yeah. There's a scene where, like, Betty's got her roller skates on. She nearly falls over, and Jeremiah, like, catches her. And then he says, And then he says, like, don't get me wrong, it's cringy, but take the cringe away, it's cute. Okay? And unlike a lot of people, I don't let cringe bother me. Things are cringy, get over it. Anyway, and then he says, you don't have to hurt yourself to get my attention, or something like that. And like, girl, that's cute. Come on now. You're telling me if you were 16 at a house party and you nearly fell over and like a really cute guy just caught you and said that you wouldn't be like, huh? You would, okay? You would. I know you would. You know you would. Everybody knows you would, okay? Because you would. Um, Obviously, if that happened in real life, I'd probably poke a fucker's eyes out, but it didn't. Also, I don't know if I can swear, so I guess we'll figure it out. Yeah. So if that happened in real life, it's probably not a good idea. But in things like books and movies and TV shows, you can get away with stuff like that with me. In real life, you can't. Sorry about that, but you can't. Yeah. Um. It's like, yeah, I literally wrote down. It's kind of cringe. I don't know. But I think um yeah, I literally wrote down it's meant to be kind of hot, I guess, and I forget these guys are teenagers, but it's kind of cringe. I don't know. And then I put, but I think 15-year-old me would have started hooting and hollering. I don't know. Yeah. 15-year-old me would have probably hooted and hollered. Just saying. Or I just wouldn't tolerate a real man saying that to me. If a real man said that to me, you don't have to hurt yourself to get my attention. Who do you think you are? Like, be so fucking for real right now. No. Anyway. And then like the party happens sometime during the party. Like I'm not actually 100% sure what happens, but I think some kind of argument breaks out between Conrad and Jeremiah. Conrad can obviously sense there's a bit of tension between Jeremiah and Belly because who can't? Because it's like you can cut it with a knife, you know? Um but yeah, so I'm guessing the argument is probably over Belly, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure. I can't exactly remember, but they have so many of these stupid little arguments. It's honestly kind of annoying. Like, nothing goes right for 5 minutes, for longer than 5 minutes before people start arguing. It's like, and by people, I mean either the Fisher brothers or Belly and someone else. I think basically what happens is Conrad wants Belly back. Jeremiah gets jealous because he kind of wants Belly. And Belly doesn't know what or who she wants. So there's that. Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure after that, everything kind of goes sour and a bit sad. And Belly gets super drunk. And she goes down to the beach. Conrad ends up finding her and tries to talk to her about stuff. um like the breakup and how he treated up prom, which major L, by the way. Catch that L, loser. Anyway, that's for Conrad. And I'm actually really proud of Belly because like she could have just been like, oh my god, I forgive you, let's get back together, because Betty did really like Conrad. Like she's had the fattest crush on him since forever. And like in her shoes it would be really easy to just fold the second he says he's sorry without actually taking accountability, but she doesn't. She stands up for herself and she basically shuts him down. And to Conrad, what the hell did you expect? You basically forced her to break up with you by being this world's lamest boyfriend. And now you want to come slinking back saying that you're sorry the second that you've moved on? Like, um, take a hike, quite frankly. Like, yeah, get out of here. Like, anyway. Yeah, this is something that like continues to piss me off about Conrad throughout the show because he does this kind of thing so many times where he shuts everybody out. He acts like nobody around him exists. He acts like his problems are the end of the world and he can't talk to anybody about them, otherwise the world will end. Pushes everybody away, is horrible to them, and then he when it blows over, he just expects everything to go back to normal. And it can't because your actions have consequences, dickhead. Anyway, but yeah. He's just so inconsiderate and selfish. It just pisses me right off. It just pisses me off. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, yeah. Like, if you don't know what to do with your feelings, then I don't know, go to therapy or something. Like, bitch. Anyway, yeah, the second he realizes he likes Belly or loves her, he just declares it to her almost as if he expects her to just be waiting for him and for her to drop everything. The second he's ready. But if he's not ready, he just treats her like crap, and it's like it just really pisses me off. Like, just rubs me the wrong way, honestly. But yeah, Betty kind of goes upstairs, like she goes back to the house, goes upstairs and ends up drunk calling her mom. and telling her everything, where they are, what's going on with the house, and all of that. And then falls asleep. Like, wow. Because that's gonna make Laurel worry. Anyway, um, Laurel turns up in the morning and she's not happy. Like, she starts shouting at Benny, um, and they get into a fight. But to be honest, Laurel is there to save the day. Once she understands the situation and what's going on and how much this actually means to all the kids, um, and how the kids don't want to lose the beach house because they don't want to lose their last connection to Susanna. She's basically on board because she probably feels the same way that the kids do about the beach house, in all honesty. And Laurel, being Laurel, manages to convince Susanna's sister to not sell the house. Go, Laurel. This is why she's my favorite character. Like, Laurel gets things done, and people can't deny her. Like, she gets what she wants at the end, and at the end of the day, and like, she's so stubborn about it. She won't take no for an answer, and she doesn't let people just walk away from things. And I love her for that, to be honest. Um, which, by the way, I forgot to mention that, like, one of the first ideas the boys had for saving the house was taking money out of their trust funds and paying for the house themselves, meaning they buy it from Susanna's sister, so the house is theirs. Except their dad won't let them. He knows that the house is being sold, and he knew, he just didn't tell the boys because he didn't want them to know, because he didn't want them to do anything stupid and reckless. Um, so when they ask him for the money from the trust funds, he's like, no. Um, no. Susanna's sister, I can't remember her name by the way, is selling the house and that's final. There's nothing we can do about it. Which obviously pisses the boys off, and it pissed me off, you lazy father. If there's one, like, I don't like dads in TV shows most of the time. They just they just get on my nerves. Like, you're just in the way for no reason. Like, everything that I love about Laurel and the way that I love moms in TV shows, I hate dads. And the Fisher dad is one of the prime examples of dads that I hate. He's just like so absent, like just doesn't really know what's going on to his kids and doesn't really care, to be honest. The things that are important to his kids just aren't important to him. And then my question becomes, when does he die? Like, why couldn't it have been him that died and not Susanna? Like, that's what my question becomes, because like, why can't you just let them buy their mom's house back, or at least even talk about it and listen to their concerns and how like much this is going to affect them? Like, have you even spoken to your own sons about their grief in losing their mother, or are you too busy like flirting with your secretary? Like, for real. Like, when's he gonna slip over in the shower and die? Yeah. Anyway, my point in saying this is Laurel also manages to convince their dad to keep the house. So, Laurel is a genius. Laurel is basically God. And everybody should be singing her praises. Like, if I was any of those kids, like, I'm sorry, but Laurel would be my hero. And that's probably because my mom is my hero. But yeah. Without her, they wouldn't have gotten the house back. Like, anyway, let's move on. Um, yeah. So eventually, the kids get the house. Woo! Now that the house has been saved, Conrad has an exam to study for because he basically ditched college midway through his exams. And if he doesn't take this exam, he's probably going to get kicked out of college. So now he has to rush and study for this exam, and then make it back in time to take it. So Belly puts together a study session, which I don't know how this works. Like, if people tried to do this for me when I was studying, I would have been so pissed off. Like, actually, I don't know. Maybe. Just because, like, everybody's just around me, I can't focus. Like, how's the study session supposed to work? Like, what is Jeremiah, Stephen, and Belly being there gonna do to help Conrad retain information? Like, I just like the concept of that is just like, not only that is there is no way Belly, Stephen, or Jeremiah would be able to understand the level of like biological and medical science that Conrad is studying. Like, they just like, you wouldn't be able to understand flashcards on that without studying it. So I just the logistics of that just don't make sense to me. I'm just saying. Because I remember a girl asking me to help her study French once, and I didn't take French. So when I was like doing her flashcards, if she said it wrong, I didn't know because I didn't speak French. Like, anyway, moving on. Basically, everybody stays up all night helping Conrad study. Loser. Yeah. So everybody splits the next day and they all agree to meet back up in Cousins after the 4th of July, which is cute and everything. Like, yeah, of course, we're all coming back here. Obviously, we're coming back here. It's 4th of July. Woo woo. Yeah. And Stephen and Laurel go home together. Taylor took Stephen's car, and she drives home. I forgot to mention at the party, the cousin's house, beach house party that they were throwing. Stephen's man, Stephen's man, Taylor's man. Imagine. Imagine. Anyway, Taylor's man shows up because and he's looking for Taylor because she didn't tell him where she was going because she didn't really give a fuck about him. Anyway, and at the party, Stephen was really like he was trying hard with Taylor. And like, obviously Taylor's Taylor, so she did what Taylor does when Taylor gets nervous. Um but yeah, he's like flirting with her and I think they kiss. And then that's when Taylor's man sees them. And then this scene is so funny because it's like, why do men do this? It's actually kind of funny to watch when you think about it, but it's like, bruh, at the end of the day, you don't really have a choice. Sorry. At the end of the day, like, anyway, they start posturing. Um, Taylor's boyfriend starts saying some stuff. Taylor is like, bro, can you just leave? Like, why are you even here for? Like, it's embarrassing to be honest. You don't even know my middle name. Like, what's my middle name then? Bro stutters. He doesn't know what her middle name is. Embarrassing. Which Steven's like, you don't even know her middle name? God damn. I don't know her middle name, by the way. But Steven does, and Steven gets it right. They start fighting, um, and Taylor has to get in the middle of them or something. I don't know. They end up being separated. Everybody kicks the boyfriend out, and he goes home. Bye bye. But it kind of starts this. this thing with Taylor and Steven, which, to be honest, you're like, finally, like, it's about damn time. In all honesty, um, this is a brief summary of what happens, by the way. And even then, this is not that brief. Um, yeah, to be honest, because I'm just realizing now there's some stuff that I forgot about when I was writing my notes. Um, but yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Duh. Yeah. I can't remember the boyfriend's name. He's that insignificant. But yeah. Okay, anyway. So, yeah, it starts this thing between Taylor and Steven. So when it comes time for Taylor to go home, Steven is like, yeah, and you can, why don't you just drive my car back and then I'll just come get it from you when I get back? And she's like, okay, so takes it. So Taylor drives back in Steven's car. Steven goes back with Laurel. And Belly goes with Jeremiah and Conrad to drop Conrad off at his university to take his exam. Sound, right? Everyone's having fun and in a good mood, and again, finally things seem normal again for like 5 minutes. Because long story short, Jeremiah and Belly have like major chemistry. But Jeremiah is basically scared that Belly won't love him as much as she loves Conrad ever. Like, he will always be the second choice, and he's scared that if she does choose him, the only reason she's chosen him is because Conrad didn't choose her. Um, and he's always going to be second best to Conrad, which is like his inferiority complex throughout the show, to be honest, and it does kind of get annoying. I can't lie. Um, but yeah. So yeah, and during the car ride home, like or not home to the college, Jeremiah and Belly just keep making eye contact, and it's like Conrad can tell. Like, can you guys make it any more obvious? No. Anyway, um, but yeah, so Jeremiah has an inferiority complex and he's scared of being second best. Miss second place. Especially anybody, if you get that reference. Little Miss second place. What is going on? Anyway, um, but yeah, the way Belly had to reassure him is kind of like crazy because she's like, I do want you, and I will choose you. I choose you. Oh my god, the amount of times that, like, if I have to hear that statement, to be honest, I think you could take shots the amount of times you hear that statement in this show. I choose you. It's just a bit like on the nose. Like, it's signaling somebody's being a pick me. Like, and I'm not sure who it is. Is Jeremiah the pick me? Is Belly the pick me? Is Conrad the pick me? Because at some point they're all pick me to this weird cut triangle that they've got going on. Um, but whatever. Should we? Anyway, she does this like "I choose you" spiel every single time. She wants to get with another brother. Like, it's crazy. Like, to be honest, the amount of time I heard "I choose you" in the show makes me want to bang my head against the wall. I'm not gonna lie. They start snogging and basically devouring each other's faces right outside Conrad's college. Um, right outside, like right there. Which bearing in mind it's been all of 5 minutes since the house drama. Like, do we get a break as the audience, or is it like constant non-stop stress all the time? Is what I'm thinking. Like, are you gonna allow me to enjoy the show before worrying about the characters' anxieties for more than 5 minutes or not? Hello? No, is what I'm getting. Anyway, as you can probably have guessed, Conrad sees them kissing. Um, and he still thought he had a chance with Billy, so this kind of really ruffles his feathers that he has been thinking this whole time at cousins and everything that he's gonna try again with Billy, even though on the beach she basically says she doesn't want him. She just wants to be friends, nothing more. And he still like thinks there was a chance. The delusion, to be honest, is actually wild. Um. Anyway, but yeah, the pacing of the show to me is a little bit fast. Like, it jumps from one thing to another, and this is just something that I noticed. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something I observed while watching it. Um, but it is like so fast that I feel like can I just get a break for 2 seconds? 2 seconds, please. Have a break. Yeah. Thanks. Anyway, but yeah, when Conrad sees Jeremiah and Belly kissing, he just starts acting like an asshole the rest of the car ride home, um, to take Belly home. Like, literally being an asshole. Um, and basically like teasing them and saying stuff and like acting, I don't know. Like, he's being a knobhead, to be honest. He's just asking uncomfortable questions and just being a dick in general. I can't remember everything he said, but he's just getting on my nerves because it's so childish. And it's like, babe, you didn't stand a chance anyway. Like, what are you upset about? You wanted her to break up with you, and you haven't reached out to her since. Like, what is your problem? Honest to God, so annoying. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I actually find him pathetic. Because if you were a man and you had some balls, you would just say. You would just say that you want her, but you don't, because you're a weirdo. It's just, it's just so annoying. Like, he is very emotionally dysregulated and unpredictable. Whatever it is, I actually just can't be asked for it. Like, if a man like Conrad was around me, I'd beat the crap out of him, and I'm not even joking. Like, take your weird energy somewhere else before I beat the crap out of you. Thank you. Like, I've got no respect or time for it, in all honesty. Um, this is me if I'm not necessarily talking about Conrad right now. I'm talking about if a man like Conrad tried to approach me in real life. Conrad's a fictional character and it's never that deep, I promise you, okay? Let's just leave it at that. Um, but yeah, obviously there's during the car ride home, I mean during the car ride home, um it's like it starts storming really badly and they end up having to stop off at a hotel. Um and yeah, in the morning Conrad apologizes for his behavior, uh, and leaves, saying he'll get himself home. Um because to be honest, like the way he reacted, I think it made Belly kind of feel like he was still interested in her, but she's kind of waiting for him to actually say it, and he never says it. Instead, he just acts like he didn't feel like that, um, and just bottles back up again and goes, "Right, I'm leaving. See ya. Have fun with Jeremiah." Basically, which again is his avoidance like emotional avoidance thing going on. Like it's just so bruh. It's just annoying. Anyway, yeah. So Jeremiah takes Belly home and she ends up going for the volleyball training camp thing with Taylor, and Taylor is there, and seems like her and Steven are getting along and figuring each other out, whatever. And I think season two kind of ends there. Um, so I don't know if that was enough drama for you people, but it was enough for me. It felt like it was nonstop. I felt like my heart was like anxiety the whole time because I can't like when I tell you people the way I felt when I found out that Conrad saw Belly and Jeremiah kissing, I was like, I felt like I'd just been caught cheating on my husband. Like, that's literally how I felt. And it was like, I don't need to be feeling this. I really don't. I don't want to be feeling this. This is crazy. I'm just watching the show. I'm not cheating on my husband, bro. That's how it made me feel. And Belly and Conrad weren't even together. Anyway, I actually really enjoyed season two, and season two is it's to me it's a fun season. Like I think season two is my favorite season out of season one, two, and three. I think season two is my favorite. Like, I liked the fact that Cam Cameron was brought back. I actually really liked Sky's character, and I wish they were in it more, to be honest. Um, and I wish Susanna's sister had been in it more. Like, I wish they'd made something out of that. Like, um, them like spending more time at the beach house and stuff together as a family, and like maybe adding Susanna's sister to the family, like including her, and in a way, like getting closer to Susanna almost through that. I wish they'd done that, but they didn't. Um, but yeah, overall, I actually really enjoyed season two. Um, it's I find the show really funny because it's just like it's just all stupid things. You know what I mean? Like none of it is that serious at all. Um, everything that happens in it is just like a very heightened version of reality, I think. Um, in a way that's almost like this is what teenage girls think of, or what you think is supposed to happen. I don't know if things like this really do happen. If they do, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. I would have dipped a long time ago, but sure, whatever floats your boat. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's gonna bring it to the end of today's episode of Pretty and Dangerous. Thank you for watching and thank you for making it to the end if you have. Um I wanted to include a little segment from the book I'm reading, Invisible Women, like I did in the last episode, but I'm really not feeling all that well and like I feel like I can't think straight. So I'm sorry if this episode is a bit messy. um, I'll try my best to clean it up a little bit when I'm editing it, but we'll see how it goes. Um, yeah, like my head's starting to get a bit fuzzy now. But, anyways, I hope you had fun ranting with me over some fictional characters. And remember, this is all in good fun. Like, it's just so we can have a laugh and some jokes. These are just my opinions. And I'd love it if you shared your opinions in the comments. Um, next episode, I'll definitely be doing the third and final season of The Summer I Turned Pretty. Hopefully, I'll be able to include the segment with the book in it. Invisible Women. I don't know what to call the segment because, like, I want to do a fun segment and then just like not necessarily a serious one, but a more educational segment because I just want to motivate myself a little bit to learn more things or to focus more a little bit on academic things. um so I think we can through episodes find something fun to watch, but then also find some books or documentaries or something like that to watch and read. and then talk about and discuss as well. I think that would be a fun, good balance. To be honest, I am all about balance, or at least I try to be. Um, but yeah, anyway, share your opinions with me in the comments and let me know what you think. But don't forget to stay pretty and dangerous and don't take shit from society. And I'll see you soon. Bye.